G'day, and welcome back to another episode of the Bear of Bull Market Boulevard. Look, today is going to be another fun and exciting video. I say that in every video now, I think. But essentially, what we're looking at today is free websites that we can use in Australia to understand information on different assets, stocks, that are listed on the ASX, the Australian Securities Exchange, which is commonly referred to actually as the Australian Stock Exchange. Just as a reminder, it is the Australian Securities Exchange. So due to this, we're actually going to start on their website. So today we're going to use BHP as an example. So I'm going to show you a couple different websites. So we're going to start on the ASX, we're going to go over to Yahoo afterwards, and then we're going to have a look at Market Index. When I say Yahoo, we're looking at Yahoo Finance in particular, which is a great place for not just Australian finances, but it also does have a lot of international assets and news as well. So again, let's jump back to ASX and let's use our example, BHP. So if I wanted to find out information about BHP, so for those of you that are watching that potentially not in Australia or not an Australian viewer, BHP is a company that is listed on the Australian Stock Exchange, the ASX, the Australian Securities Exchange, I should say. Got just confused myself there. And what we're looking for here is we want to find out just really basic information. So we want to find just the basics, the current price of the asset, the annual yield, these sort of things, any announcements that might have come out in the past couple of weeks or months, whatever it might be. After typing BHP into the ASX, it comes up with information here: last price, volume, bid offer range, and market cap. If we go down a little bit further, we get a graph which is showing the price of BHP over a 3-month period. We can change this to whatever we like: 3 years, 5 years, and even maximum. So maximum will take us back to 1994. So 1994 through 2023. This area that you see down here is the trading volume. So how much is traded on if we were to do, let's make it easy here, on a daily basis. Let's do a couple of days because that's actually not helping us a lot there. But essentially shows us the trading volume throughout a daily basis. If we go further down the page, we're going to see the day range, essentially the price of BHP throughout the day, so from market open to market close. The previous close, so the close on the previous business day. The average volume, so how much is traded on a daily basis. 52-week range, so it shows you the annual difference, throughout a 1-year period, how much BHP has traded from its lowest to highest. So lowest was 41.66 to 50.21. And further information here that's not too interesting for us. Fundamentals, so we've got the PE ratio, price to earnings ratio. EPS stands for earnings per share, which is $3.89. Revenue in US dollars, net profit in US dollars. Cash flows, so forth there, and probably an important one for a lot of people when we're looking at dividends. So the yield, so the annual yield for BHP at this stage is 5.53%. Down here we've got a couple of graphs actually showing this data. So here we're sort of corresponding data. We've got the volume, income, so we've got the revenue, and then the net profit. So this is the real area we want to look at. 2020 through to 2023, we are seeing a net profit of 7.9, 11.3, 30 billion, and then 12.92 billion. So a profit in each year. Finally, on the far right side of the page, now without zooming in, it actually does look like that says $2,000 and $1,500. It's actually $2, $1.50, $1.75, 90 cents, and 80 cents. So BHP provide dividends on a biannual basis. As you can see here, we've got September 2023, March 2023, September 22, March 2022. So for example, again, this is in US dollars, importantly. We're looking at, what's that, $1.70 in the 2023 calendar year. So remember, in Australia, we work on financial years, so we would obviously calculate these two here. Going further down the page, we are seeing BHP announcements. So anytime there is something specific that may have an impact on shareholders, it must be announced to the ASX. In most circumstances, there's some other things where you don't need to, but essentially if it is or does need to be announced to the ASX, you'll find it here under the announcements section of BHP on the ASX website. Coming down a little bit further, we've got the head office, contact information, directors, senior management, and a little bit about BHP, very little bit, of course. And then the share registry, which corresponds with BHP. So sometimes if you don't hold your assets on, say, for example, a platform like, or a trading platform like ComSec, CMC Markets, or something like this, or you might have it on, if you've got a wrap platform, you might have NetWealth, Hub24, or whatever it might be. You might just individually hold a share. And if you did in that case, you could go to computershare.com.au, you type in, pretty sure you just type in your postcode and HIN or SRN number, whatever one of the two it is, and then you'll be able to find out all the details of how much you hold and so forth. So again, that was a really basic rundown, trying to get through this video as fast as possible. We'll do a more in-depth video at a later stage, but again, that was a basic rundown of the ASX website. If you were to type in a hypothetical stock, in this case we've used BHP. Now, jumping over to Yahoo Finance, let's do the exact same thing. Now, I'm going to pause right there. Now, BHP isn't just listed on the ASX, it is listed also on the NYQ. So what that means is if I was to type in BHP and just go to the first one, that's actually not BHP on the ASX. That's BHP on the NASDAQ. So the NYSE. What we want to do is we want to jump back up here and find bhp.ax. So that's for the ASX. Otherwise, we're looking at all the American information, American data. Here we go. So BHP Group, ASX, showing you the same data you literally looked at just on the ASX website. It's just showing you a little bit of a different interface, so to speak of. So it just gives you raw data, and honestly, it's a little bit more straightforward. It's just exactly what you need to see right there. We can change this graph to be, as you're seeing here, 6 months, year to date, 1 year, 5 years, so forth. Most importantly, probably one of the big differences is, as you could see on the ASX, when you come down to the area of announcements, we can obviously, we'll find the announcements. Where is it? Just trying to find where it shows the announcements here. A press release? Interesting. We'll come back to that in a moment. Anyway, what's probably one of the biggest differences is when you come down here, you can actually see news for the company. So it's not just showing the announcements that are released to the ASX, it's actually showing all the news that is released or that is provided by the likes of Morningstar, Yahoo Finance, Insider Money, so forth, Simply Wall Street. So it shows news and information that other people are providing on BHP. A lot of these might actually be recommendations. Now, with regards to the announcements, it is here. I'm just actually not sure where to find it. Just give me one moment. If I can't find it, we'll actually just move on pretty fast. Press releases, no. Right. So it might actually not show the announcements directly on the main page. So if that is the case, which it appears it actually is, best place to find the announcements, well, again, we'd actually have to go back to the ASX website to find those sort of announcements. And finally, we're going to use Market Index and do the exact same thing all over again. So we typed in BHP Group into marketindex.com.au. coming into exactly pretty much the same information, except it's right there for you. You want to know the price, the yield, and the 1 year return, sort of the three things that a lot of people are looking for when they're jumping straight onto a direct equity or stock that they want to look at. I've got a graph, I've got a snapshot of the company, price, ask turnover, daily range, VWAP, WAP, however you want to say that, which is the volume weighted average price. We've got the performance here, size, which is the market capitalization, ASX rank 1 of 2,408, so the number 1 on the ASX, fundamentals, and broker consensus. So brokers, there are many different brokers out there. I'm not sure which ones they are using. We can have a look into that, but essentially tells you what the brokers are saying. Should we buy this share? Should we hold this share? Hold meaning keep it if you already have it, or should we sell it in the event that you do hold this asset? So we've got the latest news here, and perfect. Okay, so market index is probably what I confused with Yahoo Finance, where it shows the news of the company that you're searching for, and then just below that it actually shows the announcements. So like the ASX, which shows asx.com.au, shows the announcements. Here it shows the news over the past few days, so 22nd of November, 21st of November, so forth. And then also shows all the announcements that have been made to the ASX, which is great. I hope that provided everyone with a really basic sort of overview of these three websites. So again, the three websites, first one is asx.com.au, second one is Yahoo Finance, which is au.finance.yahoo.com, or you just jump onto Yahoo and type in finance. And finally, we have Market Index, which is marketindex.com.au. All websites have all the same information, just the way they lay it out is slightly different. Depends on what you like to use the most. If I was to say personal preference, if I was looking for something really fast just to get information, I'd probably be using Market Index. If I wanted detailed information on only ASX, so securities listed in Australia, I'd be going to the asx.com.au. However, big props to Yahoo Finance because they have a lot of information on not just Australian shares, but international shares as well and internationally traded assets. So it doesn't just cover Aussie-based assets. I'm not saying the other websites don't do that as well, but Yahoo has a lot of information on assets that might be US, UK, any of these sort of things. So really great place to look if you're looking for more of an international perspective. Also does a lot of information on commodities, so oil and these sort of things, gold, so forth, blah, blah, blah. Even actually just looking there, I wasn't going to mention this, but it looks like they also have the price of cryptocurrencies quite readily available. Well, not going to get into that now. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please do leave it in the comments. And have an absolutely amazing day. Thanks, guys.